right near the 101 South Connector. Everything at this point is reported off to the left shoulder, but CHP are not yet on scene, and I don't think we've had enough time for our traffic sensors to catch up, but we will continue to monitor this one to see if it develops into anything. Where I am seeing a little bit of slowing with no specific cause is the upper deck of the Richmond-Santerville Bridge, 580 westbound, right around mid-span. If you're in the area and can see anything, let us know on the KCBS phone force, 415-391-5227. That's 415-391-KCBS. Your next update, 728 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Let's get a check on that 6-day forecast from KPIX5's Darren Peck. How you doing, pal?
Good, Eric, and good morning to you. You know what's different about this morning is the clouds have come back in a more noticeable way. So the immediate day is gray, even the Tri-Valley, gray skies, and this is fog in some places. The usual spots, North Bay Valleys, up along 101, Petaluma, Santa Rosa, and into Napa, and even in Livermore. Visibility for those locations are all down to like a half a mile at a time. So you're probably in the car already anyway if you're listening to us, but if you're not, give yourself some extra time before you get there. If you are in the car, just plan on running into some fog in those spots. It's going to be a pretty day once we get to the late morning. The fog and the low clouds will be gone. We'll warm up into the mid and upper 70s for daytime highs inland, mid 60s for much of the bay. You're good for Halloween, whatever your outdoor plans might be. If you have them with the kids, you're not going to get rained on. But the rain does get here on Tuesday. Not significant, but about 1/10 of an inch of rain will move across the entire Bay Area. Everyone's got an equal shot from this on Tuesday, late morning through the early afternoon. And then it's going to get colder after that. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. Our North Bay Valleys, by Thursday, you could see morning lows dipping down into the mid-30s, low 40s for just about everywhere else. So, Eric, it's going to get kind of cold by the later part of this week.
You mean much like winter?
Right. Just like that transition, we're getting reacquainted to it. Oh, yeah, that's right. It is November. I guess I do need to find that heavy jacket.
You bet. All right, Darren, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740. KCBS. KCBS News Time 720. This year, as inflation soared, the cost of family health insurance plans remained relatively untouched, rising just about 1%. But new data indicates health insurance premiums are expected to spike for employers in 2023, leaving many questioning the fate of their family's existing coverage. For more on this, we're joined on the KCBS Ring Central News line by Paul Siegert, Managing Partner, PCS Advisors. And Paul, thanks for joining us. As always, we appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
How much do you anticipate premiums are going to go up in 2023?
I think it's going to be very surprising to employers. We've had a long-term trend of about 6% that blends the rates between really large companies and small companies. And it hits smaller employers harder. Many have seen 10% increases for quite a few years. And it will not be surprising if we see double what we've seen in the past in this coming cycle.
We're talking about what employers pay. How much of that is going to get passed along to premium increases for the actual workers?
Well, that depends too on employer size. The smaller the employer, the more they tend to have to shift costs to consumers, and in some cases even decide not to offer healthcare anymore. And that's a trend that's been happening 20 some years ago. 67% of us got care at work. Today, it's now less than 50%, and that's largely because of this trend and the fact that small employers are getting priced out of the market, and then those folks get pushed to exchange-based coverage and that kind of thing.
And do the exchanges tend to cost more than the business-supported insurance?
I think actually at the consumer level, it can work out better for those employees. If they were at a small employer where they were on a really high deductible plan and having to pay, and the employer maybe could at that point only afford to cover the minimum required amount of premium in the plan. Now, I think some of them will find they're in a better situation. The trend that it creates, or the impact that it has on the overall system, can be a little troubling because not all payers pay the same when they go and get services. This dwindling supply of employer-based plans is kind of it's a concern for the overall system because hospitals oftentimes lose money on the transactions when it's a Medicare, Medicaid, exchange plan. These government-sponsored programs that come in may not pay enough to cover the full cost of the procedure. And those...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, okay, let me do that. on premiums?
Well, it's delayed. That's the really interesting part of what we do is that these hospitals and insurance companies get into multi-year agreements on their reimbursements. So while these hospitals have watched costs soar, providers have watched costs of labor soar. A traveling nurse was $1,900 a week pre-pandemic. They could be $5,000 a week now, and many other things have impacted their costs, and they haven't trickled through to premiums yet because these multi-year agreements were in place. So as these get renegotiated, it creates this delay in the way that inflation impacts health insurance premiums, and that's why people are kind of surprised that maybe they've gone through a pretty gentle renewal season this time, but it's pent up. It's going to pop out in 23 because of that delay.
All right, we got a lot to look forward to, and apparently it's not going to be a whole lot of fun. Paul, thanks very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
That's Paul Siegert, managing partner of PCS Advisors, telling us about the possible increases in our health insurance premiums next year. Turning our attention now to business news. Here's Lisa Mateo from the Bloomberg Newsroom.
Employers say the skills they need from job seekers are in short supply.
They're looking for a graduate and a job candidate who understands data and then a lot of soft skills on can you process information and then communicate it with other people, and increasingly in global, diverse teams.
Jeff Mashankalda is the CEO of the online global education platform Coursera. He says their recent study found that the number one thing employers look for is a college degree. But in order for them to find the talent with the expertise they need, it's not the only thing.
A very large percentage of employers that they'd really like to have students who have both a college degree and a professional certificate.
And the market growth is a reflection of the demand. The global e-learning industry was worth $215 billion in 2021 and is estimated to reach an expected value of $645 billion by 2030. Lisa Mateo, Bloomberg Business for KCBS.
As the weather starts to cool down, we tend to fall back into spending more time indoors. So why wouldn't you want your home to be as comfortable as possible? Until you get rid of those old uncomfortable floors, your home will never reach the coziness. At Floorcraft Carpet One in San Francisco, come right now for their comfy, cozy carpet sale, where you can save on the most comfortable carpets, floors, appliances, cabinets, and bathroom furnishings. Get down to Floorcraft San Francisco and feel comfortable all around. Call, click, or comment today. FloorcraftHome.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Were you abused by a priest or clergy member? You are not alone, and we can help you hold the church accountable, regardless of your age, and even if your abuser is no longer working, or even living. Thousands of victims have filed claims and been awarded significant compensation, but the deadline is quickly approaching, so call Stop Clergy Abuse right now. Your call is free, private, and confidential. Even if you don't remember the abuser's name, we may be able to help, but time is limited, so call now. Catholic dioceses have paid more than $3 billion to victims, with the average national settlement at $268,000. In parts of California, the settlements are much higher. Call 855-43-ABUSE now, or soon you may forever lose your chance to file a claim. You can't change the past, but you can be compensated for it. Call 855-43-ABUSE. A representative is standing by to help. Call 855-43-ABUSE. That's 855-43-ABUSE.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1979. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1979. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
Yosemite National Park's advanced vehicle reservations ended October 1st, so the park is yours again, California. This autumn, get away to Yosemite Mariposa County's warm, sunny days and crisp, clear, star-filled Sierra nights.